Arizona and Duke. What a matchup we have in store for a trip to the Elite Eight. We welcome in the third member of our team, Allie LaForce. Hi there, Allie.
It's going to be exciting, that's for sure, especially because all eyes are on Caleb Love, a player who is facing off against Duke for the 10th time in his collegiate career. No one is more excited for, yet at the same time, at ease with this matchup than Love. He's had a rough streak against them recently, losing 3 of the last 4, but very fresh in his memory are also the big moments where he spoiled Duke's biggest moments, and in those, Love has risen to the occasion. In legendary Coach K's final home game, Love scored 22 points, only 1 turnover, hit all 12 of his free throws. Then in Coach K's last game ever as a head coach, he scored 28 points and eliminated Duke from the Final Four in New Orleans. When asked at the end of his career, who will you hate more, Arizona State or Duke? He said, that's easy, for sure, Duke.
First team all Big 12. Yeah. Caleb Love, John Shire, he is center on that game plan. John Shire's done an amazing job. His 3rd season, he was a great player at Duke, a captain, won a national title as a player, got a chance now as a head coach. Tommy Lloyd had a big turnaround this year. Arizona was struggling. Arizona figured it out, had a nice run in the Big 12 tournament, and they arrive here to another Sweet 16. Duke controls the opening tip. Away we go here in New Jersey. Cooper Flagg gets up the first shot. And a second chance for Duke here. Malawach kept it alive, and James able to score it. First bucket of the day belongs to the Blue Devils.
Yeah, Zion James, keep in mind, he didn't start the game back in November. It was Caleb Foster who was in the starting lineup, but you see the value add. Zion James, big bull down below, offensive rebound. Nice way to start the game with 2 points in the paint.
Jaden Bradley has had a terrific year. A little pull-up from the mid-range. He's got it. Arizona is a team, went 14-6 in the Big 12. Last year, lost in the Sweet 16 to Clemson. That was in L.A. Last time they've made it to an Elite Eight was 2015. And they're trying to do that this year with a team that, you go back to late November, early December, this was the last thing on Wildcats fans' minds. They came together and played well and got themselves here as Duke turns it over.
Yeah, but that time, Cooper Flagg, being too unselfish, tried to throw a lob up to Malawach. He should have shot it. And the reason being, even if it comes off a little bit, say it comes off right, Malawach is inside for an offensive rebound, but that time, by not taking a really good shot, that possession turned into a bad possession.
Arizona with the ball. Beat Akron and Oregon in Seattle to make it to the Sweet 16. As Flagg goes up high for the rebound on the Bradley miss. Knipple, sharpshooter. Knipple got some moves, shut off. And now a reset for Duke. Proctor kicks it to the corner. James hits a 3.
And James will probably be the one that will get a lot of open looks based on the starting lineup for the Blue Devils, and now he's taking advantage of it early.
Caleb Love, the turnaround, no good. And Cooper Flagg at 6'9", up high for the rebound, up ahead, Malawach, and knocked out of his hands. Tobe Awaka with an incredible block on the 7-2 Malawach. Del Orso, he can shoot it. Del Orso. He's going to be a challenge for Arizona on the defensive end, but he's out there because he can light the fuse. Proctor up top, and a foul. Malawach not allowed to get to the basket.
Well, both teams starting out 2 for 4. Both teams making a 3 at the beginning. You can kind of see the chess match that's going to be played by both coaches. Tommy Lloyd, understanding the strength of his team, is going to get out in transition and really run. Duke, 2 feet in the paint, kick it out, get open shots like this, and you got to knock them in.
Can't leave Cooper Flagg that open. I mean, Flagg is just one of the generational talents. He's out of Maine, first year, was the high school national player of the year last year. Got a chance. And is the likely national player of the year at the collegiate level this year. And the unquestioned #1 pick, Del Orso with a flyby, and he's got another one. He'll stay on the floor as long as he's doing that. Del Orso buries his second triple.
So much value he adds to the starting lineup because you have to value him, especially if he's a post-entry player. You can't leave him. And that time, Cooper Flagg, not disciplined on his closeout, went for the puck fade.
Del Orso, hard foul on Flagg.
Well, KYP, know your personnel. I know Cooper Flagg shoots right now 36% from three, and this time the switch was supposed to happen, but the bottom man in that case would have to call that switch out. Bradley, which he didn't, and that just drove love and opened it up for Cooper. And I tell you what, Knipple.
Yeah.
That's the freshman that nobody kind of thought would be able to excel at this level this early. They knew he could play. He can shoot it, he's big, he's strong, he has a motor. And he has the toughness about him, that Midwest Milwaukee toughness.
Wisconsin Lutheran High School, Knipple. That one reigns in. The three-pointers are falling for the Cats. Trey Townsend hits a three. He's got Cooper Flagg duty defensively to start this game as Love knocks it out of the hands of Knipple. And it'll be Duke ball. And a substitution here as Malawach will exit. All new Coca-Cola Orange Cream. Classic Coca-Cola taste with a burst of orange and vanilla flavors. We all scream for orange cream. That triggers Tommy Lloyd's counter to Gungba entering the game. Henry Vesar, who has really emerged for Arizona, the 7-foot sophomore. Cooper Flagg, pull up over Townsend, missed it. Bradley will get it organized. Bradley allows Love to play off the ball. And a great compliment to Caleb Love. Vesar guarded by Gungba. Bradley gets caught in traffic. Boy, Duke locking up Arizona. Finally get one up, and Bradley fires one off the backboard.
And sometimes you can do everything you want defensively, and shots like that are being made. All you do is pat him on the butt and say, good shot, because if for 34 seconds, 35 seconds, it was great defense by Duke, but better O at the end by Bradley.
Knipple fires one to the wing. James missed it. And Bradley, that's going to be last touch by Duke. That'll be Arizona ball. Takes us to our first timeout. Jimmy the Cats shooting it well early.
But ATM, even at late hours of the night here in Jersey City, still printing out cash.
Jimmy, you talked about it. Caleb Love, this is his numbers in wins and losses. The points per possession, strong over one. In the wins means he scores, he shoots a lot, volume shooter, but the drastic drop-off in the Arizona losses.
And I'll be interested, too, in those games. It's not just missing shots, it's the shots you take. And part of Caleb Love's challenge is when he's good, he's taking efficient shots. A lot of times, it's the shot selection that lowers his shooting percentage, hence it affects the overall Arizona offense.
Tommy Lloyd keeping Del Orso on the floor after knocking down a couple of threes. James, an excellent defender on him now. Shot clock down to 4. And Bradley misses the three. Vesar the rebound, the 7-footer.
He talked about his value and what he's added to the team, and that's been it right there. Good defense again, and better offense. Bradley using that big body, got it up. Cooper Flagg stayed steady.
Cats with a 7-0 run here. They lead it by 5. Here is Proctor. Proctor hits. He's got a lot to his game. Tyrese Proctor is out of Australia. He's a junior. 3 years at Duke, all as a starter. Came in with John Shire, and Shire was emotional talking about Tyrese Proctor and how great he has been.
Tell you what, talking to him early, John Shire early, he said this about Proctor. In order to kind of allow him to grow as a player, he moved him off the ball. Okay? So now he didn't have the responsibility of running the team, but he can be a recipient of a lot of those passes, dribble, drive, and now I think that elevated his game. It alleviated him trying to carry the offense.
He's having his best year as Vesar misses the first. Get complete coverage of the NCAA Division I Women's Tournament on NCAA.com.
start right here by Arizona, too. I mean, just really kind of sticking to their initial game plan of how they want to attack this Duke defense. And then off, on defensive end, kind of limiting Duke to some contested shots.
Proctor, three-pointer is good. Yeah, he can't miss right now. Jimmy, in round one, Proctor was 6 for 8 from three-point range. Against Baylor in round two, he was 7 for 8. And he knocks down his first attempt here tonight. Carter Bryant can't hit.
Well, I would put, Tyrese Proctor in that same category with, there he is with Caleb Love, his shot selection.
A lot going to be on Vaser here.
Yeah, a lot of times when you have a bad shooting percentage, when you're a good shooter and scorer, it's because you're taking tough shots or you're trying to force something. And both, I think, when they're on the top of their game, they allow that offense to work for them. They take high quality shots, and a lot of times they feed off their teammates.
2 great games, 2 blowouts. Gone for 19 and 25 in his first 2 NCAA tournament games this year. Second Duke player to have 6 or more made threes in consecutive games. Knipple finds Caleb Foster. That misses. Caleb Love moving it. KJ Lewis. Everybody getting a touch here. Caleb Love more patient in his last year. Bryant missed it. Bryant going to be a wild card for Arizona here tonight. He's a freshman, but what a talent. Top 20 recruit. And you figure his minutes are going to be up.
I tell you what, Duke is doing a really good job in that pick and roll with Caleb Love. They're showing really hard, not allowing Love to turn the corner. Now the big has to retreat back to the paint, so not providing daylight for Caleb Love.
Foul's going to be on KJ Lewis. That's a concern for Tommy Lloyd. It's one of the reasons Lewis doesn't start. He and Vaser, Tommy Lloyd told us yesterday, they could start. They could easily be starters on my team and any other team. But we got to protect their fouls, and we're going to need them. Del Orso gets the start instead. He knocked down a couple of threes, so they got some quick offense from Anthony Del Orso. And now KJ Lewis, who is incredibly athletic, will get significant minutes, usually on the floor at the end of games for Arizona, as is Vaser. Lewis trying to stay with Flagg, gets it back to Proctor, shot fake, knifes in, and he lays it in. Boy, silky smooth, patient Tyrese Proctor, able to deliver. He scored the last 7. Duke in front. Caleb Love is yet to score. Bradley with 6 quick points. Now a Waka shutoff. Again, late clock. This is customary for Arizona. Bradley, flurry of moves, contested shot, and we got a foul underneath. A Waka and Tyrese Proctor get connected. It'll be Duke ball when we come back.
Well, Tyrese Proctor is locked in. The long closeout, already hit a 3. Now I'm driving to the middle to the big man. That basket able to put Duke up by 1.
Well, Coach, you had some really sound defensive possessions. They hit some tough shots. So what do you critique on the defensive end?
Well, stay the course, but also they do a great job of moving and cutting. We lost Del Rosso twice. We just have to do a better job off the ball, and then when the shot goes up, we have to rebound.
Offensively, I know you don't want Cooper Flagg to be so unselfish. Was he aggressive enough in those first minutes?
No.
Never, right?
More aggressive.
Thank you, Coach.
And aggressive, too. Not always shooting the ball, but looking for your shot, attacking, and forcing the defense to have to react. And part of the defensive part that he's talking about, you got to communicate early.
That's a shot to the head by Jaden Bradley. And by the way, before that last timeout, they did assess the foul on Malawach. And there's one of the guys that Coach Shire was talking about. Bradley, good minutes to start this game. Del Orso back on the floor after knocking down a couple of threes. Bradley's picked up his 2nd foul. He will sit. Tyrese Proctor splits it. Proctor gets to the basket, misses with a left hand. Malawach comes over the back, picks up another foul. So early foul trouble here for Common Malawach. And immediately Gungba goes to the scorer's table.
Well, this is when, as a young player right here, you got to know just to give up on the play. You have a defender right in front of you, and instead of going for that offensive rebound, you better help your team. You better help for your team by being in the game and not settle with your second foul.
Proctor will join Malawach on the Duke bench. Lewis missed it, and that's going to be a whistle. So that's going to be a foul on Gungba. All of a sudden, the Duke Blue Devil big men in some foul trouble here. Picks up his second foul. Patrick Gungba.
Waka. He had an elbow in the back on top of the head. And Gumba,
he who flails first.
Exactly. Gumba's like, man, it was me? Okay.
Deloso. Now Lewis. There goes Tobe Awaka, and offensive foul.
And reading the scouting report, Awaka wants to get to his right hand. Gungba understood that instead of trying to challenge it up top, or more importantly, not trying to swipe down at the ball, he stood his ground, anticipated where he was going, beat him to the spot, and picked up the charge. So he evened off that play. He gave up a foul, got it back.
First turnover for Arizona. Isaiah Evans getting his first minutes on the floor, running the baseline now. Cooper Flagg. John Shire says need more. Trying to give it to him. Offensive rebound, gets two of them. And another chance here. Flagg drop step, and it's going to be a foul on Lewis. Cooper Flagg injured his ankle in the ACC tournament in the quarterfinal game. It's a second foul on KJ Lewis. So it's being called tight, Jim, and there's some early foul concerns here for these coaches as Flagg will go to the bench. Sixth foul already for Arizona, as Flagg and Foster will sit. But Flagg's ankle looks good. He missed the rest of the ACC tournament, came back, played well in both games in Raleigh in the first weekend of the NCAA tournament. Really a non-issue now. It's a left ankle injury, but something to pay attention to throughout is Evans rattles home a three-pointer. His first shot goes down.
But to your point, it's a left ankle injury. You know what that is? That's his jumping leg. So it does affect some explosiveness, especially when you're going off 1 foot, going to challenge the rim or an opponent. So you do want to keep, that's why I think the patience allowed him to get as healthy as he could before rushing it.
Well, bodies on the floor. Possession arrow belongs to Arizona. Tobe Awaka, the worst out of the pack after that scrum.
Shot up. Bodies everywhere. Awaka right there. Zion James. Who else is that in the fray?
Yeah, Lewis is in there too with two fouls.
If he got poked, maybe hitting the eye on the scrum.
Tobe Awaka, a couple of years at Tennessee. He's a New Yorker. We play this Sweet 16 in New Jersey in Newark. He's got a lot of friends and family here. Went to high school in the Bronx. In his first year at Arizona, and he'll come off the floor. Again, possession arrow belonged to Arizona here.
Each possession means so much more in the tournament. One game scenario.
Besar enters along with Carter Bryant. Arizona ball. They started 6 of 9. They've missed their last 6 shots. Duke's on an 8-0 run right now, and they lead by 4 halfway through this first half. Winner will match up against Alabama in the Elite Eight Saturday. Caleb Love nowhere to go. Turnaround misses. Caleb Love 0 for 2. Hardly getting any shots up and has not scored yet. Arizona's missed their last 7 now. Zion James. Checked by Love. Evans again turns a corner, can't hit it. Vesar gobbles up the rebound.
That's good defense too that time by being right in the pocket of Evans, and
Love missed it.
Yeah, not there to clear some space.
He's not playing free. You can kind of see it in his body language. A lot of pressure on Caleb Love tonight. Del Orso, that's an offensive foul.
The official at the baseline had a blocking foul, so they're going to talk about this. He had a block.
And they will converge. So different calls.
Yeah.
And let's see who ends out here.
Block.
Michael Greenstein had the block.
Sign James here. Del Orso right there, but that elbow comes up after the contact. So the foul is there, and the elbow really didn't connect. So
underneath was the block.
Yep.
Lee Castle was up top, had the charge.
Yep.
So they're going to call that a double foul. Is that the signal I'm getting?
Yeah.
We'll try to get a clarification here. Apologize. You're not getting any word from the officiating crew on what they called it. It looked like Michael Greenstein is going to put the ball in Duke's hands.
And the 2 fists out to the side indicate like a double foul. Okay, but what, why, how? Okay.
So they pinned the foul on Henry Vesar. And that one is in. Three-pointer is good. Kneppel, the sharpshooter, knocks in his first three-pointer. So Duke gets the benefit of the call, and they cash in with a three. The run is 11-0 now, 23-16. Duke in front. 8.5 to go in this first half. Love. Kneppel right with him. Contested three is true. First one for Caleb Love. Had a hand in his face, and he still pours it in.
Yeah, tough shot, but a tough shot maker, and that time calmly. Rhythm dribble with that left hand, able to get it up and over the Kneppel. And he committed the foul there. You know, offense is all set up, and I want you to watch Kneppel right here as he's going to come off this little fade screen to get the shot right in here. But it's patience. When you're a shooter, you don't have to rush. You know where you're going, okay? Once you fade it, boom. And the defense for Arizona didn't react because, again, when you're going to switch in a quick situation, that bottom man has to talk loud, early, and often in order to get that switch and tell the top guy where to go.
AT&T Connected Cam gave you that look. Offensive rebound on the miss. Here goes James, and James will go to the line. And just for some housekeeping here, they did call that a double foul.
Okay.
And James got the other foul. So James and Vesar. So
how did Vesar get?
I know.
Where was he at?
Exactly.
Help me, help you to help our fans understand. Vesar was nowhere in the picture.
We had multiple officials with multiple calls. And I just wanted to make sure we clean that up. And it's why Duke got the ball and end up with a three-pointer on that possession. So Vesar and James picked up fouls there. And now James at the line. And Sion James hits one out of two. 5-point Duke lead. Love just coming off his first made three. I mean, we do have a microphone for them. They can just jump right on there, explain it themselves.
I don't think they're going to run over here and tell us.
Vesar's fouled! And one! Big Henry!
Hey, that's his second offensive rebound. How do you add value? Vesar. Better be lucky than good. Old-fashioned three-point play available.
Well, Coach, we know how much you rely on Caleb. How are they making it difficult, and how do you continue to put him in a position to get that rhythm and confidence back?
Well, we got to get the ball moving a little bit better. They're good, doing a good job defensively, sticky. We're a little bit stagnant. Let's see if we can get moving here a little bit. You know, obviously we're dealing with some foul trouble right now, so just try to manage that and keep our team in the game.
Thank you, Coach.
And thanks to Tommy Lloyd. as Vesar finishes off the three-point play. So again, more housekeeping because they had it wrong in the scores table. They did not assign a foul on Vesar. That's important in this game. That double foul a moment ago was on James and Del Orso. So those were the two that picked up the double foul. We thank Keith Kimball for coming over here and explaining it.
Well, I had to go to the law firm of Howard and McKinney to be able to sort things out. You know, I got a retainer with them, so they came in and was able to sort it out.
In the officials' defense, they had no idea that the information at the scorers table was wrong. That was being passed around. So as we're watching foul trouble stack up, that's why I just want to get it right here. So Vesar take one foul away, and they corrected it in the book as well. Vesar had it knocked out of his hands, and that'll stay Arizona ball with 5 to shoot.
Well, I like this by Caleb Love. Play off 2 feet. You get stopped. The help comes from Brown. And then Vesar, look at Brown right there. You notice he didn't reach in with his left hand, where that shoulder is at. So he's reaching, trying to protect that left shoulder.
Caleb Love for 3. Got another one. His second made 3. Starting to get it going a little bit.
2 really good shots, though, by Caleb Love. You know, one was a contested, deeper shot, but that one was under less duress and under a really good underneath out of bounds play.
By the way, great to see Malik Brown on the floor. Dislocated left shoulder. And he is back, and he's getting minutes. John Shire said he might. We'll see how he can go here tonight.
Well, that time, again, you got to talk on that switch. Proctor didn't tell Mason Gillis to switch. Mason stayed home. And as a result, Caleb Love made you pay for that lack of communication.
Duke by 1. Proctor at the controls. Love guards him. 2-man game here with Brown. And Brown to Flagg. Flagg to the basket. Patient, able to score it.
And that's why you like Malik Brown in that high post right there, because he can make plays. And that time it was set up for Cooper Flagg to go back door.
Here's Bryant, corner 3, short. Gets his own rebound. Bryant looking to pass it. Townsend drives, cut off, tough shot and a foul. Mason Gillis called for the foul. And free throws coming here for Trey Townsend. New CBS Monday. Grab your gear and head out with an exciting new NCIS. CBS Monday, 9/8 Central, streaming on Paramount Plus. Trey Townsend coming out of the mid-major ranks, 4 years in Oakland. Got a 16-point round 1 against Akron.
Shout out to Coach Greg Campy there in Oakland. A lot of coaches don't want to play Oakland in the non-conference.
Right.
Tom Izzo always, as their great friends, always schedules them, but a lot of coaches say, nah, because that's how much they respect Campy and his coaching ability.
Well, Townsend was a part of that team that beat Kentucky last year.
Yeah. I'm telling you.
He went for 30 points in that game, as a matter of fact. As Trey Townsend will head to the bench.
Like, nah, we good.
Conrad Martinez on the floor for Arizona. And guarding James right now. Proctor goes to the basket and missed it. Wow, Bryant flying high, but Brown gets it back. Knipple turned away. See how James, strong like bone, puts it in with a left hand.
And you realize how big this Duke team is, man. Starting 5 is 6'5" and up, and when they sub, they're 2 or 3 bench players. Good. Cooper Flagg just a little late. Everybody is up. Everybody that subs in is 6'5" and up. You know,
Tallest team in the country.
yeah. I mean, it's like an NBA team. And watch this here. See how gets to the baseline, pump, and now you go up. That's the patient uses his offhand. Smart basketball.
Somewhere Jay Wright saying, yep, that's well done. Vesar knocks in the free throw. Cheer on your favorite NCAA team with officially licensed fan gear. For the best selection of team apparel and accessories, head to shopncaasports.com. Arizona, the 4 seed. Won their first 2 games in Seattle. Duke coming out of Raleigh as the top seed. Beat Mount St. Mary's and Baylor. And a couple of blowouts. Good to see Tobe Awaka back on the floor. And Vesar, good minutes. He'll go to the bench. 1 point Duke lead. 5.5 to go first half. That's a mismatch. They target, but they turn it over. Martinez up ahead, throws it away. Tommy Lloyd says, calm down. Conrad Martinez, he's a fan favorite. He's the 9th man in this Arizona rotation. And you can bet Duke is going to hunt that matchup.
Yep. You can only hide him for so long.
He's trying to check Sion James here. Flagg spins to the middle. Flagg knocks it in.
And very comfortable going to his offhand too, and that time the mid post. Assess where your defender is at or where the help may come from. Feel comfortable about it, go into your move, take your shot, and that's what he did.
Caleb Love, he's hit a couple of threes, crossover, kicks it to the corner. Martinez hits a three. Getting production from beyond the arc from Martinez and Del Orso.
And guess what it was? It was the dribble penetration by Caleb Love. And where did that pass end up at? In the shooting pocket of Conrad Martinez.
All tied at 32. Knipple trying to turn the corner at 6'7", big body, does so. He's a great shooter, but he can put it on the deck as well, and he's done it a couple of times already tonight. Duke back in front, Arizona with the ball. 4 minutes to go in the first half. Proctor and Love. Del Orso for three. And Flagg and Proctor came together. It ends up in the hands of James. Flagg. No look to Knipple. He stepped on the sideline. Duke turns it over. Arizona ball when we come back.
Now back and forth we go. Sion James, an outstanding freshman, spin move. Lefty, nice soft touch for Cooper Flagg, but not to be outdone. Young fella in the corner, spotting up. Right back at you. Yeah, they paid him big money to come here to do this for a Duke game. I can tell you that much. He didn't volunteer to do that.
Kenny the Jet will be happy about that. Arizona with the ball coming to the end of the first half here. Arizona down 2, can't get it to go, and it's going to be Arizona ball. I thought
Sion James
Blue Devil touched it last.
Or Con Nipple. Wow. That's interesting.
So it'll be Duke ball here.
Yeah.
Malawatch back on the floor with those 2 fouls. He and Gungba both picking up 2 fouls. Martinez continues. Now Flagg drives it. Flagg lays it in. It's really the only possible answer Arizona has is Carter Bryant at 6'8", but nobody can match up with Cooper Flagg.
Well, in particular in that short roll, Sion James did a good job of being patient, letting Cooper set it up, and then hit him right in rhythm.
Love, and he's fouled. Love going to his left hand. Gets by Knipple. He's got free throws coming.
But when you have shooters on the perimeter, this opens it up. Sion James with a nice little pocket pass. Now, where's the help going to come from? Because you have shooters, a shooter in the corner and Con Knipple, so you can't lean in. You get it to Cooper Flagg in that short roll, allow him to make the decision on what he wants to do. And the pass was put perfectly that he could catch, gather, and finish at the rim.
Quiet start for Love early. Then he got hot. He made a contested 3. Has hit 2 threes. And has 7 points. Conrad Martinez will exit along with Tobe Awaka. Vesar back on the floor. And Love coming off his 29-point performance against Oregon in the second round. He made 5 threes in that game. He also had 9 rebounds and 4 assists. Been a great player for Arizona. Flagg missed it. Lewis with the rebound. Arizona a chance to tie or take the lead here. Caleb Love, quick release. No. Oh, Lewis is there. Vesar kept it alive. Out jumped Malawatch. And Arizona gets a second chance bucket to tie this game.
Well, Vesar improving once again his value. Didn't get the tip. keep it alive. Arizona able to tie it up.
In Arizona, 2001 national title game. Coach K, Lute Olson, Richard Jefferson, Shane Battier, and Mike Dunleavy playing for Duke. Duke would go on to win the national title in 2001. Dunleavy hit a big shot late. 5-time champs. The Duke Blue Devils, they last won it in 2015, 17 times. They've been to the Final Four, and they're rolling with a 1 seed and finished the year AP #1 in the polls as well.
I just want to know who okayed the coloring on the
Malawak's on a setup by Knipple.
That beautiful play to get the pick and roll, and then the empty corner. Got Malawak that nice lob, and Knipple put it right where he needed to in front of the rim.
Sean James picks up the foul here.
Well, you occupy the defense right here quickly. It's a 2-man game on the weak side, empty corner. And Knipple that time, because he put so much pressure on the interior defense, you had to help a little bit, and that opened up the lob. A beautiful play coming out the timeout by John Shire.
Caleb Love will have 2 shots here. CBS Sunday is the home of TV's new must-watch mystery. Morris Chestnut stars in Watson. New CBS Sunday After Tracker, streaming on Paramount Plus.
You know, Arizona's doing a really good job right now, shooting 50%. More importantly, they've gotten to the free throw line, Brian. I mean, that's, and they tied it up because, you know, Duke went on a little run, but staying steady with their offensive approach, and also, you know, you +8 makes at the free throw line, 9 made by Arizona out of 10 attempts, only 1 out of 3 for Duke.
Martinez knocked that out of Knipple's hands and deflected it out. Officials looking at each other. That's going to stay Duke ball. Deflection. They say Martinez touched it last, so Duke with the ball here. 1:40 remaining in the first half. Had 6 ties already. Flagg turned away, drops that shoulder, and a foul. And free throws for Cooper Flagg.
But that's the aggressive nature that Coach Schreier was talking about. Force the defense to have to react to you being aggressive. And a lot of times it's, I'm going to drive, I'm going to attract you, I'm going to look for my shot. If I don't have it, I'm good enough, skilled enough to make a play out of. Listen, he averaged 18 points a game. Not a high volume shooter. He only gives up 13 field goal attempts a game. So it's not like he's out hunting for shots. And I think that's the gift and the curse of being that talented that Coach Schreier talks about. We need you to be a little bit more aggressive, looking for those opportunities.
Send it over to Allie LaForce.
Well, Coach Schreier told us he's very coachable. You can say anything to him and he won't be offended. He said my biggest thing with him is to not defer. He can at times try to be a really good teammate and get guys involved, which I love, but go be a killer every time. And that's what I want him to do tonight, forever and always, he said.
Yeah, to the point where he won't do one-on-one interviews very often. He wants his teammates with him. He does not want it to be the Cooper Flagg show, but it is, because he is that great.
Well, but if you're that dynamic and you have that aura about you, you can try to suppress that all you want, but it won't work.
Yeah.
Okay, and I understand you want to be inclusive with your teammates and make sure you can still do all that. But if you're as good as everybody wants you to be, and of course you are, and all that talent you have, at the next level, is certain things that come along with that. And that's the interviews, the stardom, the expectations. All of those things come with being, when you wear the crown, so to speak. And you have all that talent. A lot is going to be expected of you.
Arizona getting to the line now. 1 out of 2 for Love at the line. There's a lot more free throws than Duke.
Yep.
11 of 13 from the line now. 11 points for Arizona. They're down 1. Flagg kind of taking over here, and a jump shot. He's got a wry smile. Gave you one of those "they can't guard me" smiles. And he's right. 15 now for Cooper Flagg on 6 of 11 shooting. Under a minute to go, first half. Arizona hanging in there with Duke, trying to keep this game close. Caleb Love for 3. Got it.
Yep.
And we are tied once again as Caleb Love delivers his 3rd three-pointer.
But that's just Caleb Love reading the situation, getting the pick and roll, getting to a shot, not to be outdone, and not this thing right back up. Behind the big-time moments, you're allowing your stars to be starring. And that's what Cooper Flagg is doing right now. The beautiful spin move, the gathered, but not to be outdone. The fifth-year senior here in Caleb Love, a grad senior, patient, assessing, scoring, keeping Arizona right where he wants them to be, which is tied up right now.
Great showdown. And we have setting up for us here in this Sweet 16 matchup. Duke's made 10 of their last 13 field goals. Cooper Flagg's been all of that. Here's Knipple for three. Got a quick release. Con Knipple, it's his second three-pointer. Duke back in front by 3. Double figures for Knipple. Martinez with a shot clock off will initiate the offense. Love guarded by Knipple. Long three flies short. Offensive rebound, no. Secured by Gillis at Duke. Flagg pushing, looks at the clock, fires a three. Down it goes. Cooper Flagg beats the buzzer at the end of the first half.
I tell you what, now watch Cooper Flagg look up at the clock right there. Assess it, pull back, show all of it. Cooper Flagg rolling with it. As a big momentum swing, 18 points in the first half.
On his second made three as we send it to Ali LaForce.
Well, Sion, the team has now made 12 of its last 15 attempts from the field. You started them off going 3 for 4. What did you see on navigating this defense that you're facing?
They're being really, really physical, but we know that there's something we can do against their physicality. Our big thing is not settling, getting downhill, and fighting for our shots.
Such an evenly matched game. How do you make them feel the tournament pressure more than you?
Just keep being us. There's not really much to it. They're a good team. We're a good team, but we got to be ourselves.
Thanks, Sion.
Of course, thank you.
Calm, cool, and collected. Sion James. Coming up, AT&T at the half. Ernie Johnson, Clark Kellogg, Kenny the Jet Smith, and Charles Barkley. They're standing by in our New York studios. Insights on the first half and highlights elsewhere. It's a visit with Caleb.
I did. He gave me a couple of minutes, which was nice, and he just said, listen, first and foremost, we have to win the rebounding battle. We have to know tendencies to their go-to guys, and we have to slow down Cooper and go from there. This team was fired up. They were hyped. They were vocal, jumping up and down. They kept telling each other, 6 points is nothing. This is 2 possessions. Let's start on defense and turn it into some easy looks.
Love gets up the first shot. Thank you, Allie. Misses the 3. And here comes Duke. First possession of the second half. A trip to the Elite Eight is on the line. Alabama is awaiting. Alabama had a record-setting 3-point shooting game, taking down BYU in the first one tonight. Knipple leaves it up top, and Malowich with an amazing finish and a foul. Malowich had those 2 fouls. He played just 9 minutes in the first half. What a setup here by Knipple. Talk about a guy who's got feel.
No, he does, but we saw that in the first half. You know, that middle pick and roll, because you have to honor Knipple's shooting, he's able to get into the rim. I'm going to say this about Arizona. They're only down 3 in the rebounding game. They won the battle with the free throw line. Where they kind of got stymied was those 3 turnovers resulted in 7 points by Arizona. And they gave up 22 points in the paint. So you clean up a couple of those little areas right there. Now you find yourself right where you need to be.
Duke opens up their largest lead. They're up 9. Arizona with the ball. Coming out of the Big 12. First year in the Big 12. These 2 teams matched up late November. Tobe Awaka, strong finish inside.
He may not have the size, but he has the girth. So that time, he caught a deep post position, bodied up Malowich a little bit, created that space, and a nice little jump hook. Another paint point for the Wildcats.
Flagg post up here. Guarded by Townsend. Just rises up over him, and a foul. And Flagg will go to the line to shoot a pair. Well, he can take over whenever he wants. You just feel that about his game. I love what Clark Kellogg had to say at the half, and it's so true. He doesn't force anything. He plays with great rhythm. I think Charles echoed the same, but there's a style to his game. There's a competency to his game. You feel like he's always in control.
Well, shout out to the white mama, Brian Scalabrine, who had a lot to do with this young man's growth. But listen, you can move him around like a chess piece on a chessboard because he's not locked into a post-up player. He doesn't just have to be on the left-hand side to drive right. He can go both ways. So being able to utilize him with all the real estate on the court makes it really impossible for defenses to take some of his tendencies away because he can hit you in so many different areas on the court.
Love cannot shake Knipple. Del Orso for three, misses it. And offensive rebound. Walker kept that alive. Townsend just giving up too much size. And Malawach, that's a held ball. Possession arrow belongs to Duke. I mean, Trey Townsend doing all he can at 6'6", but he's dealing with 7'2" in there.
Yeah, you just can't outgrow that all of a sudden in the second half. So he tried to get the pump fake inside, but Malawach smartly stayed disciplined and kept his arms up in the air.
Duke a chance to go up double figures here. They're up 9, 2 minutes into the second half. Flagg again wanting to post up. Jaden Bradley doing all he can. Flagg is fouled. And no shot. And some fouls racking up here. I think if you're Tommy Lloyd, you feel good about getting through that first half. KJ Lewis only played 5 minutes, had a couple of fouls. Bradley had a couple of fouls. He played 10 minutes. Foul trouble was a major concern with this massive Duke team. Now Bradley has 3. And Tommy Lloyd has a decision to make. Flagg splits it. No look. James in the corner, wide open. Cash. All set up by Flagg. Tommy Lloyd calls a timeout. Duke coming out of a cannon here in the second half. They're up 12.
But being aggressive, split the double team. You help, I'm going to make you pay. Sion James, 3-ball, corner pocket.
And the Duke dominance back to their spot. They won 29 of their last 30 games. Yes, the ACC was down this year. Duke is the lone ACC team remaining. They have not lost a game, Jimmy, since February 8th against Clemson. I think the only questions you could have about Duke right now, how will they react in close games if you can get them there, because they don't play many.
Well, it's not their fault that the conference was down. They had to go handle their business, but they've grown so much over the year. Good contest, but better shot that time by Carter Bryant. You know, the thing that Duke possesses is the 3 C's, man. Communication creates chemistry that creates consistency. And that's what they've been all year. And I'll put Florida in that same kind of boat. Those 2 teams with the 3 C's.
Can I throw another C in there?
Go ahead.
Cooper. As he leaves it from Malawach. Cooper
Okay.
Flagg.
Okay.
The biggest C of them all.
Yeah. I guess that'll work. I
mean, certain things you paint on the walls, and then certain players, you put their numbers in the rafters.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a clinic here. Faisar, Knipple giving up a lot of size, stood in there tough. Faisar couldn't get it to go.
Yeah, but Faisar wasn't balanced. There's no way he was going to get that shot up and in. He caught it awkwardly and couldn't get his feet together to get it up.
There goes Proctor, and he leaves it up for Malawach. Sends it out to Flagg. No look again. Knipple passed it up. Knipple drives and lays it in. Lightning quick. It all happens so fast. The threat of the 3-pointer. The drives are there too, and Arizona turns it over.
But I tell you what about Colin Knipple, and I said something earlier about no one thought, and I said this early. What I mean by that is that they knew he could play, but he was able to learn, connect, have an impact early in the season as well, when all the shine was on Cooper Flagg. That just shows how good Colin Knipple is.
Flagg again! Rescue the possession. Leaves it up top for Malawach again. And a foul on Knipple. Oh, Cooper Flagg scoring, handling, playmaking, and setting up some big-time lobs here. Twice to Malawach. Special player right here.
Now Cooper Flagg kind of showing us why he's pretty much the consensus #1 pick, because his versatility. They're the no-look pass to Sean James, splitting him double team, and then attract the defense, make the play, throw it up. Follow watch, and even off balance, still having the awareness to find his teammate. And all the superlatives have been said about this young man all year. But one thing I think what separates him too is not just the talent, but is his motor. His ability to play hard, to play. It's not like, I can go get it. He plays hard.
Well, I love points created. Scored 20. He's got 5 assists. Stuffing the stat sheet. He's got 31 points created tonight of the 62. Half the points created by Cooper Flagg. It's a nice answer for Caleb Love. Arizona's going to need a lot more of that. They're down 13. Dang. Cooper Flagg, a 25-5 game already. 10th different Duke player to do that. 20 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists in an NCAA tournament game. Our man Grant Hill did it 3 times. He would remind you one of those came in a Sweet 16. Arizona gets the turnover. Bradley finds Love. Bryant set up for 3. He'll pull it, and he misses. And Malawach, that's going to be Duke ball.
I mean, a great opportunity there. And Arizona, listen, you got 15 minutes left. You're only down a 4 or 5 possession game. The key is, can you get the stops right now consecutively and make it pay off on the offensive end?
Again, Malawach inside. Vesar closes. Oh, a nice little left-handed jump hook.
It reminds me so much of a young Joel Embiid with more offense at this time of his career. Joel, when he was even though he was limited at Kansas, there was more defense. But Malawach has the same attributes with more offense, I think, at this age.
Quick whistle there on a held ball. And it's going to stay on this side of the floor. Think about it, Duke. We talk about the close games, and you play the schedule you're given. Yep. They won 33 games. 21 of those victories were by 20 points or more. 10 of those wins were by 30 or more as Vesar raised it up high, Statue of Liberty style. He's fouled on his way in. Appropriate for this part of the country. And Malawach picks up the foul that sends Vesar to the line.
Well, you want to nullify a 7-footer to try to block your shot. It's a jump before him, get in between him, use your body, and try to dunk. And now he picked up the foul, got to the line, able to see if he can knock into to cut into this lead.
Stream CBS Sports HQ, your free 24/7 snapshot of all things sports that matter to you. Catch highlights, in-depth analysis, and breaking news anywhere you are. Download the CBS Sports app to watch today.
That was the 3rd foul, too, of Malawach. So if Arizona, you can kind of keep this thing within the balance. That could play into your favor maybe a little later. You can pick up a 4th while you're clawing your way back in this game.
Looks a little shaken up over there, too. Might have taken a shot to the head. Gumba on the floor for Duke. Full court pressure by the Wildcats. Flagg breaks it, leaves it up top. This time it's Gumba. Who else wants to be in the Flagg vortex? Yeah, what a joy it must be to play with this guy. That's going to be a foul on Duke.
I mean, what the problem is, usually when you press, you want to put it into a player's hands that's not comfortable breaking the press or handle, right? You have 4 players on the Duke court, on the roster right now that's on the court, that all can handle the ball and break the press.
Yeah.
And that's the challenge when you face this Duke team. What are you trying to take away? Or who are you trying to take away?
Weapons everywhere.
Everywhere.
What a team.
Yeah.
Lewis. And recovers. Plenty of time here. Lewis going to pull up a mid-range jumper short. Gumba with a rebound. I don't know if you caught in that replay, Jimmy. Cooper Flagg, it's a small thing, but it just gives you an idea of his feel. He's got a 7-footer in Vesar coming at him. He just does a little look to the left. Vesar thinks the lob's coming on the other side of the basket. That's what set him up. And now Flagg's going to take it himself. He lays it in. He's got 22 points. Duke has made 20 of their last 23 field goal attempts. Hot pass, and Flagg knocked to the ground. It's going to be Arizona ball.
Watch it as Cooper gives it up. He fakes like he's going to the pick. He gets down. The pass is delivered, and he knew Basar was coming down. So instead of trying to post it up, caught, turned, scored really quick. Sense of the game, feel for the game.
Speaking of Grant Hill, I remember talking to Grant about Cooper Flagg this summer when they worked out at UNLV, part of that Team USA experience. He was there on the practice team, and he said he held his own, and he was fantastic. Gungba got it, and one. Patrick Gungba, the talented freshman from Virginia. Chance at a three-point play.
You put Malawach on the bench, and Gungba comes in. Awaka just a little too small. And it's funny, we did the game earlier with Alabama, and they dominated from the three-point line, just put on the show, a clinic, right? We're watching a different kind of clinic here. Duke is 38 to 8 points in the paint. A different kind of clinic on how to beat a team in a variety of different ways. Transition, in the post, three-point shot, mid-range. You know what I mean? And it's
any way you want, really.
Any way you want it. And in Arizona, you keep in mind, this is a very good Arizona team. Okay, but they're making it look very easy to score when they want, the Duke Blue Devils, on a very good team.
Flagg will sit. 4 fouls for Awaka. He goes to the bench. Duke has not missed a shot in the second half. Strong drive that time by Lewis. And a little bit of a flex. 17-point Duke lead with the ball. 7 minutes into this second half. This game was tied at 42 at one point. Duke is on a serious run here. And you mentioned the paint points. They're plus 30 right now in the paint. Tommy Lloyd scratching his head, searching for answers on that no card.
It ain't on that no card, I can tell you that. It's it's on the court. That's where the game is going to be won or lost a lot of the times.
Knipple, he's a guy who can take over any moment. He was the most outstanding player in the ACC tournament. First miss in the half for Duke. There's Love in the corner. Wow, tough shot. Caleb Love hits a big three. Man. 19 points for Love. That's his 4th made three-pointer. Duke's lead is 14. Travel. Ooh. Duke turns it over.
We've seen a couple of these from Caleb Love. He had the first shot, but he hesitated. Maybe he felt he needed a little rhythm. That dribble did it for him. And yeah, he traveled. He lifted up his foot a couple times. God, you can point all you want, but where you pointing is not where your foot started.
Cooper Flagg back on the floor. I mean, sell it. You can sell it.
You can sell it.
That works in Milwaukee sometimes. Bryant missed it. Contested shot. Flagg was right with it. By the way, we talk a lot about Cooper Flagg's offense. Ken Palm has him rated as the #1 defensive player in the country.
Yeah, I ain't going for that.
Is that right?
No. I think there's a lot that goes into that. I think he's learned how to be a better defensive player.
Proctor, no.
You think Con Knipple knows who Laverne Shirley is?
No, for sure he does. 100%.
I don't know.
Bryant. Yeah, that's Flagg in there for the rebound. He's got a lot of bounce to his game, too. Ball control here for Duke. John Shire giving instructions. And Flagg pulls it back. Flagg on to work. No foul, Malawach.
Another example of him being really aggressive, looking for a shot that got an offensive rebound by his teammate.
Foul, free throws coming for Arizona. Malawach has been in the right place many times in this second half, especially there on the Flagg miss. Caleb Love will go to the line. Love with 19 points tonight, 4 made threes. He's had some of his biggest games of his career against the Duke Blue Devils, including that 28-point performance in the Final Four 3 years ago. And he has responded well tonight, but Duke has just been too efficient, too good. Arizona has not had an answer for this top seed in the East. Here's Flagg. Lewis guarding him. Flagg comes up short. Good work by KJ Lewis. And now Arizona wants to push. Duke gets back. And we got a whistle underneath. Proctor and Trey Townsend got tangled up. Tyrese Proctor will be called for the foul.
And Townsend did the smart thing. Knew he had a smaller player on him. He darted right to the post to try to establish that position. Didn't get the ball, but he did pick up the foul.
Ten and a half to go in regulation here. And a trip to the Elite Eight with Alabama waiting. Love. Wow. Strong take to the basket. Explosive finish for Caleb Love.
I tell you what, you can't say Caleb Love. Not trying to keep this team in it. Again, only down 12. 4 possessions. But it's just this end of the court right here, Brian.
Cooper Flagg. 3-pointers good. 25 for Flagg. His third made 3. Duke's been dominating in the paint. Flagg opens it up and spreads the floor that time as Lewis shot fake. And Malawak's too big. Duke's lead is 15 with the ball. Sion James looking for Flagg, stolen by Love.
Goes to the wrong side.
Love pulls the 3, got it. Caleb Love trying to will Arizona back in this one. Duke's lead is 12 now. 26 for Love on his 5th made 3. We saw Mark Sears on the floor for Alabama in the first game. Those two monster careers, huge numbers in the NCAA tournament. And Love is answering Sears' big game. He scored 34 today. Gillis open in the corner. That's one down. Mason Gillis. Former 6th man of the year in the Big Ten for Purdue. Inside. Again, Malawak a handful underneath. And it'll be Arizona ball.
It's the pass that sets up the shot. Gillis able to spread the court. Every time it seems like Arizona has that run in them to get it under double digits, Duke finds a way to suppress that and responds.
Caleb Love, he scored the last 10 for Arizona. Flags on him. Ooh, Faceoff almost threw it away. Love now drives. Love hangs. Wow! With the left hand and one. A brilliant finish by Caleb Love.
And is that foul on Malawak? If it is, that's 4.
It is on Malawak.
Yeah, I'm just saying now. Great job. Drive. Cooper Flagg undisciplined and defense right there. I mean, why go for the steal? It cost you right there. You could have just squared Caleb Love up, but Caleb did the smart thing, man. Right to the basket. Playing a really under control, smart game right now for Caleb Love.
Well, he's on a one-man heater right now. He scored the last 13 for Arizona. And it's a 12-point game once again. Cooper Flagg with the ball in his hands. Lewis checks him. 2-man game with Malawak. Flagg is fouled. Vasar. And Arizona will put Duke on the sideline. Side out, pick up their 5th foul here. Tommy Lloyd, 4 years at Arizona. Longtime assistant at Gonzaga with Mark Few. 2 decades there. 4 years at Arizona. His 3rd Sweet 16. Been to the NCAA tournament all 4 years. He's a 4 seed this year. He's been a 1 seed, twice a 2 seed. That's a strip. Lewis on the floor, gets it. Townsend to Love. Love with Knipple on him. Up top, off the glass. Score it. Caleb Love. What an impressive run here. And one.
But KJ Lewis with the steal first, okay? That live ball turnover created the opportunity for Caleb Love to do what he's been doing all evening. He had not settling. He attacked the glass. He's put Arizona down 10.
Beg your pardon, not an and one. Just a goaltend was the call. It win it anyway. There's Flagg driving, and he's met Townsend with a block. Here's Love now. Love, tough shot, and out. Ball's loose. Ends up in the hands of Love. Faisar. Townsend drives. Townsend. Oh, Cooper Flagg. And Faisar! An exclamation point. What a sequence. Arizona coming with a fight, Jimmy.
Yeah, it's not over. This Arizona team will not be denied. And said, listen, you don't have to take us out. Able to cut this lead to 8. Look at the excitement coming from the bench from Arizona.
Duke leads by 8, but Arizona on a 19-8 run here. There was some activity during the timeout with the officials. Want to bring in Gene Steratore. So, Gene, a lot going on here. There's a potential and one and a potential flagrant they're looking at.
Yeah, B, I think what they're looking at here as it relates to the flagrant is Jaden Bradley here that yanks Knipple down. That's a classic hook and hold to me, which would be a flagrant one. You see Lee Casal come in, didn't see the action right away, so he knows something's happening. Then you have the foul with Cooper Flagg, the and one. So my thoughts are they're going to shoot the one shot for the and one.
0 blue.
Now that just confirms what you're saying,
There you
Gene.
go.
So the and one,
Exactly,
it'll be
BA. So they shoot the and one here.
with nobody in the box. It looks like a technical, but it's an and one because they're going to go to the other end of the floor, I believe is what you're saying, to shoot the T on the flagrant.
Yeah, that's how they'll do it, Brian. Then after they shoot this and one, they'll keep the lane clean. Then they'll come down and they'll shoot the flagrant one, and then they'll come back to the point of interruption, which is actually after the and one occurs on the other end, and then they'll give Duke the basketball on the other end of the court.
All right, Gene, thanks. Great stuff there. Now, there was a lot going on as we went to commercial. And so Faisar will try to finish off a three-point play, and then we'll march to the other side of the floor. Big swing here, though. Arizona making a big run to try to fight their way back. It's a 20-8 run now. And Jimmy, as Gene said, I mean, this is pretty easy for the officials to go see this from Bradley.
Right there. And watch him hook, hold, bring him down. And that's where the flagrant foul came in on Con Knipple.
He'll shoot the technical foul shots. Duke will have the ball. Knipple rarely misses. 91% free throw shooter this year. And that one right through the heart. Foul troubles the story. Knipple and Malawach with 4 apiece. Jaden Bradley, Tobe Awaka with 4. Awaka's been on the bench for a while now. They could use his size. Tommy Lloyd is trying to take as much time as he can. And Arizona on a nice little push here. Sion James guarded by Bradley. Knipple now. Inside Gumbo. Oh, nice move. Got himself free for a dunk. Elba's come on from Malawach, giving him some good minutes in the second half. Good ball movement. Arizona getting to the paint. Bradley. Oh, shooter's bounce.
All of that rim right there, Bradley got. Nice response that time. Press not invoked this time by Arizona.
Under 7 minutes to go. Sweet 16 here in the East region. Winner takes on Alabama Saturday. Knipple driving left, and a foul away from the ball as Gungba is called for the foul.
Starting to get a little chippy.
It really is.
And watch Gungba, right? He hooked him, and he brought him
Same
down.
play.
Now they can go look at this again. And it is according to the rule, they'll give him the hook and hold, the same thing, because he grabbed. See, if you hold him and hook him and let him go, then it's not the same thing. But if you bring him down and hold him, then you're going to get a flagrant on it.
Previous players under review.
You know, that's the thing. It's not like you can't hook a player, but it's when you grab, hold, and don't release, and you pull down, which could cause injury, which did, and it's the reason why.
Yeah, Isaac Haas, wasn't it? Remember, dislocated the shoulder.
From Purdue.
So it's a common foul called on the floor. And again, they're back to the monitor to see if this elevates to a flagrant on Gungba.
Well, watch Gungba underneath, and now watch. He brings him down.
Yeah.
Now he lets it go near the end, but at that point, he's already got Vassar on the way down. So it'd be interesting to see if the officials stay consistent with that call, because they already gave it to Arizona.
Yeah, I don't see much difference in the Bradley's versus this one. Gene Steratore, what do you say?
I think, JJ, you really
After
nailed
further
this
review,
one, and
we
it
just
is
have a
when
common foul on the
Gungba
play.
takes him down.
Hold up. They just said they called a common
Sorry, Gene.
foul.
Yeah, Keith Kimball came in and called it a common foul.
You know, I'm a little surprised by that, fellas. I'm a little surprised by that. You know what? It's one thing to be tied up, like JJ said, but when you then take him down to the ground with you, to me, now we're into those other descriptions of excessive. Yeah, that's unnecessary to me. That's excessive to me. That rises to a flagrant foul.
I'm with you. That's a big break for Duke. Thanks, Gene.
Yeah, thanks, Gene.
So 82-73 here. 6:46 left in regulation. It will mean free throws for Vassar.
Hold up. No, he's saying
I beg
side
your
out of
pardon. Yeah,
bounds.
side out, you're right.
Side out of bounds. See, but that's huge, because that would have been a flagrant free throws and the ball.
Right.
Okay, so now you're able to really cut into the lead. Not to say you can't score now, but that's a huge no call. That's a big no call.
Love. Pass too high. Vassar couldn't handle. Gets it back. And he missed it. Flagg defending well. And that's going to be a foul going the other way. I believe they're going to get Vassar on this one. And now Tommy Lloyd is letting these officials have it. I mean, this was the first common that was upgraded to a flagrant, pulling down Knipple. That was Bradley. And then this is the one that stayed as a common foul. I don't know, man.
I tell you what, you know what coaches used to tell me all the time? Tape don't lie. Now, you can see what you want to see, but I believe those two are the same thing, except Gungba did let go, but that doesn't take away from the process in which he pulled Vassar down after he had him hooked. That's where the infraction was caused. But hey, I'm sitting with the headset on.
So Gungba hits 2 free throws. Back on the floor is Carter Bryant. Duke leads by 11. Have they withstood this Arizona run, or do the Wildcats have more in them? Jaden Bradley, with 6.5 to go, will initiate. Proctor picks him up. Vassar again with a screen. Bradley turns a corner up top. Oh! Henry Vassar, what a finish! That was halfway up the backboard. Vassar going up tall to rip that one down. Flagg springs free, and he is fouled. Free throws for Cooper Flagg. Goes right back into the teeth of the Arizona defense.
While giving the Duke Blue Devils a little piece of their medicine. That time Gungba comes up a little bit too much. He's supposed to be in drop. And when you do that, you open it up for the lob, because the backside help can't pinch in fast enough, and Vassar getting up and over.
Cooper Flagg at the line. A stat stuffing machine here tonight. 26 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. After all the games are over, Adam Lefkoe, Jay Wright, Candace Parker, and Seth Davis, they'll have all the highlights and analysis inside March Madness, presented by Buick. It's only on TBS. Only player with these numbers in a tournament game for Duke, Jay Williams, 28, 6 and 7. That was back in 2001 against USC. That was in the Elite Eight. It's kind of special night Flagg's having. Bradley runs into a wall. Gungba called for the foul. Free throws for Jaden Bradley.
Bradley does a really good job of going into the body of Gungba. And
Gungba fouls out.
Yep.
And John Shire will put Malawach back on the floor. 5:50 remaining in regulation. A ton of free throws here the rest of the way. Both teams in the bonus. The Sweet 16 continues tomorrow. Doubleheaders on CBS and TBS, and it all starts with the Nissan NCAA tip-off show. That's at 6:30 Eastern on TBS. Brand names throughout this Sweet 16. 2 free throws for Bradley, single digits now. Duke by 9. Full court pressure. And now Flagg goes. Duke in ball control here. James looking for Flagg. Lewis on him. Knipple running with Malawach. Can't get it to go. Here come the Cats. KJ Lewis puts it up. Cooper Flagg. Stuffing that stat sheet. Put a block on the list too. His third.
Remember I talked about the motor? Hustling back and not giving up on the play, assuming that somebody else would man up defensively.
What a performance. Talented freshman. ACC Rookie of the Year, the Player of the Year in the ACC. Likely National Player of the Year. Love can't hit. Malawach, big rebound.
Oh, that could have been a big basket that time by the Wildcats.
Would have made it a 6-point game.
Yeah. And put a little bit more pressure on Duke.
Arizona talked yesterday. Just make Duke feel the pressure. Can we hang in and make it a close game? Flagg missed it. Baystar. Good block out. Gets the rebound. Here comes Bradley. No look. Caleb Love dunks it down. Arizona in transition.
Yeah. Just hanging around. Never out of it. Your superstar Caleb Love kept you in it. Now your defense is finding ways to get stops and forcing Duke. Call a timeout.
You never know. Arizona down 7, 4.5 to go. Caleb Love on the receiving end. 33 points for Caleb Love. Well, we got a chance to bear witness to 2 of the great guards, great careers at the Division I level at NCAA. Mark Sears jumped ahead of Caleb Love with his 34-point game. Love answers. He's got 33 tonight. Most career points in an NCAA tournament among active players. Those are the 2 at the top of the list. And Alabama and Mark Sears moving on to the Elite Eight. Can Love and the Wildcats keep this furious comeback going and join them?
All right, speaking of great guards, shout out to my former teammate Mike Bibby, former Arizona Wildcat.
Yeah.
1997 NCAA. He came on my podcast today, so I know he's watching.
Oh yeah, he's in the weight room.
Well, you know what?
Getting the pump in.
Congratulations to head coach at Sacramento State.
Proctor finds Flagg. Good ball movement. James in the corner. Big shot. Sion James.
Man, they just respond, man. They don't falter. They figure things out, run the play. You open, take the shot. Don't worry about the consequence.
40% three-point shooter hits a big one in the Sweet 16 as Lewis. Tough contested bucket right there. All that size around him. KJ Lewis, next level athlete. 3s for 2s right now, though. It's an 8-point Duke lead with the ball. 3:40 left. Cooper Flagg has a season-high 7 assists tonight to go along with his 27. Ball in his hands. Here's James now. James drive. Bradley knocked it out of his hands. Forced the turnover. Bryant. And that's going to be a block on Cooper Flagg. Arizona saying, finally we get a call. Flagg looked like he was in good position. Arizona will have free throws. Foul on Flagg. 8-point game in the Sweet 16 in Jersey. Playing for a title. Got a good one here. Arizona's had a furious comeback. They're down 8 to the top seed Duke Blue Devils. 3:22 remaining in regulation. And free throws here. Bryant will go to the line after that foul on Cooper Flagg. That could have very easily been an Arizona turnover. Bryant dribbled it off his foot.
Arizona finally caught a little break that time. And now Bryant, another outstanding freshman from Riverside, California. 6'8", 225, got a beautiful stroke.
Top 20 recruit. He's a nice player. He just knocked down 2 clutch free throws.
Yep. And now the press. You score, now you can put the press on.
Flagg puts it in. Lead is 6. Proctor. This is where all those ball handlers come into play, but they don't have that true point guard.
No. But they prove too by having veterans like Sion James and Proctor that as long as they can initiate the offense, Cooper Flagg can kind of do the rest.
Love guards Flagg. He sets up Proctor. 3-pointer. No good. And Love out of the pack. Here comes Arizona. Screws are tightening here for Duke. Arizona fighting their way back. Love sitting on 33. That was deflected.
Yep. Malawach able to get a hand on it that time. Big defensive stop by the Blue Devils.
And now the ball control. 2-possession game. 2 timeouts apiece. No fouls to give here. Both teams in the bonus. Flagg running with Malawach. Gives it back. 6 to shoot. Flagg going to take it himself. With 3 to shoot. Flagg. Oh! Malawach missed the dunk. And a foul. KJ Lewis fouls Knipple.
But the intelligence of Cooper Flagg not to settle to take a 3 and put his head down and go to the basket. A lot of players would have settled to take a jump shot. He said, no, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to use this 6'9 frame, 6'10 frame and force you to have to guard me. Now, the lob didn't work, but it did result in free throws for Duke. All because of the smart play by Cooper Flagg by not settling for a jump shot. You see what I'm saying?
It's so good.
And those are the things that coaches say you can't teach, that you gotta have, especially as a young player, instinct, game feel, a feel for the game. He has all of that.
8-point game. Arizona got to go quick here. 2 quick, excellent free throw shooters as well. KJ Lewis turns a corner in the trees. Bryant for 3. Good. Carter Bryant keeping Arizona's hopes alive. 1:52. Cats are bearing down here. Duke ball when we come back. Bryant, a clutch 3-pointer and a 5-point game. Duke and Arizona coming down to the finish here. 5-point game. Duke with the lead and the ball. 1:52 left. Arizona trailed by 19 with 13 minutes left. Duke breaks the press. And James will pull it back and run some clock. Huge possession here. And Flagg hits the deck. KJ Lewis with the foul. That is his 5th. And Lewis fouls out.
Trying to do the right thing by staying connected with Cooper Flagg, but the push at the back. Again, Cooper Flagg is going away from the basket in the ball. Okay? So now you don't have to be as aggressive. He has to turn and catch and square up. You can get back to him. Those are the kind of fouls that you just can't have. And you want to play aggressive, but you got to play smart, especially when the player is going away from the basket.
Arizona lost a key player. Mo Krivas had foot surgery in December. KJ Lewis, big part of the reorganization. KJ Lewis and Henry Vesar.
You know, with Krivas, they were big inside, and they kind of complemented each other, gave you a little different combination between the bigs. And Walker, as much as he's tried, you know, the lack of size at times does come back to haunt this Arizona team, in particular when you play against a big team like Duke across the board.
Lewis volunteered to go to the bench after that injury, kind of changed the dynamic with the bench. Cooper Flagg, a couple of clutch free throws. He has not missed from the line. 8 for 8. 7-point Duke lead. Arizona gotta go. Bryant gives it up. Vesar puts a shoulder down, turned away, and misses. Malowich with the stand. Malowich had the defensive stand and the rebound. And now Duke fans starting to sense it here. Under a minute we go. Delorso ends up on Flagg. And Flagg drives. No. Malowich couldn't finish, but into the hands of James. And more clock will tick. They have to take the foul now. And the Duke Blue Devils look poised to advance to an Elite Eight.
Now backdoor cut. Flagg able to get back, and then the freshman Malowich able to contest it. And again, this is the area they've gotten better. At the beginning of the year, as all freshmen do, they have to learn, you know, off-ball defense, on-ball defense, when to rotate, when not to overhelp, all those things. And as they've gotten better defensively, that trio of freshmen, it's enhanced what the overall team has been able to do. And you see it paying huge dividends right now when it counts the most in the tournament.
Cooper Flagg, a 30-piece in a Sweet 16 game. Fourth Duke freshman to score 30 in a tournament game. Zion, Jared McCain twice. And now Cooper Flagg on that list. Worthy of it. Caleb Love taking on James, lays it in. Going to be a huge night for Love. 35 points. Did not disappoint. And puts another big game against the Duke Blue Devils on his career register. Again, Duke breaks the press. And James will be fouled. He's an 81% free throw shooter. Well, Tommy Lloyd has got this program back to prominence. The Arizona Wildcats. As James hits the free throw. All these high seeds for Arizona. First coach in Arizona history to make 4 straight NCAA tournament appearances in his first 4 years at the helm. But he's going to come up short against the top seed in the East. Bradley scores. And it's a 6-point Duke lead. Last time out. Shot clock is off. Duke ball when we come back. Incredible efficiency by the Duke Blue Devils in this NCAA tournament. Blowout win against Mount St. Mary's. Same against Baylor. Game was tight here tonight. Arizona coming back from down 19. But Duke just too much.
Well, I mean, kind of like the first game, if it stays like this, at some point, BYU and Arizona just ran out of talent at the end of the day.
We got to,
you know,
unpack Cooper Flagg's night. There's going to be a lot to discuss after this one. He's the only player, Jimmy, to put these numbers together. 30 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds, and 3 blocks in an NCAA tournament game. You set all those parameters. You're looking at the only one who's done it. The complete player.
And you know, the shame part, but the great thing for him is that we more than likely we only get to see it once. I mean, the beauty about the game back in the day when Graham played, or Christian in the 90s, UNLV, you look forward to whatever happens now next year, the next year, and you know, grew an appreciation and an affection towards that player. But in today's world, if you get it once in that special moment, you better soak it in, because you're not getting it again, more than likely, the way it is and the way it has been with a player of his talent.
This guy named Jackson at Ohio State was nice. Had a nice run for a few years. Knipple knocks the free throws in. And Duke by 8. Bradley got it. Arizona's upset. The clock was ticking there. He didn't feel like he touched the ball.
Get this ball in clean now. Messing around. Okay.
2-possession game. Knipple strong with the ball. Will go back to the line. Best free throw shooter on a very good free throw shooting team.
Yeah. You think about this too. Of the shots that Duke shot, how many what's their field goal attempt? 55? What is it? 55.
33
right?
of 55. Yeah. 19.
How many were really under duress or forced?
In the flow.
And that says a lot about the discipline, especially having 3 freshmen in the starting lineup that this team possesses. Okay, by not going out, wanting to play hero ball, sharing, taking the shots that are available, not forcing. I mean, how many assists? You got 20 assists on 33 made field goal. I mean, that says a lot about the connectivity of this Duke Blue Devils team.
Triple digits for Duke. Boy, what an Elite Eight we are set up for. Alabama and Duke. The top 2 seeds. That's it. The Duke Blue Devils will advance to the Elite Eight back-to-back years, and Cooper Flagg was special tonight. 30 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 blocks, had a steal. What a performance. And Flagg and the Blue Devils are marching on. Lost in the Elite Eight last year to NC State. They were a 4 seed. But the top 2 seeds will advance. We'll have it for you Saturday from Newark, New Jersey.